Welcome back to the Leaftail Lounge. Today you got me, George from Dragon Pit Reptiles, and we got Jack from Gecko to Culture. So today it's a bit of a recap from the last episode. Last episode was kind of like a general introduction. Today, well, it's been a week or so and shed loads has happened for both of us. So why don't we start? Jack, what's happened with you in the last week?
Oh man, it's been a hell of a week in the tent. Yeah, so I think we both got some breeding success. We are very excited to talk about. I guess we'll start with mine, given that it pertains to the the general theme of the podcast, being Uroplatus. Um, but yeah, I finally got some hatchling henkeli to pop, so I'm super pumped about that, man.
Awesome. And they are stunners as well. They are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, no, so. Yeah, so that pair, I guess going back to the start, I think I got that pair maybe a year and a half ago.
Okay.
From some friends here in the States. And yeah, they were cool enough that, so I bought that pair. I think they were going through a move
Yep.
and they couldn't bring, or they just didn't trust themselves to bring those animals through that moving process. A lot can happen when you're moving, obviously,
Yeah, of
especially
course.
in the start of summer. So I think they were just a little bit worried about that as well, which is totally understandable. So yeah, they offered me that pair of henkeli, which is really cool that they trust me with them because they're really special animals, and got me those. And then they actually got me my first pair of peach mani. My first female came from them, which is really cool. And yeah, so they're cool enough that Jordy, she actually drove them from their place all the way to one of the reptile shows that I was going to be at, which is really awesome. They road tripped those over for me, which is really sick. And yeah, so I got those animals back. The female was still really young, so
Yeah.
maybe like about the size of a Sakura when I got her.
Okay.
She's really cool. Yeah, she's they're both pied animals, but she had like a really funny tail. She dropped it when she was getting shipped to them. So when it came to me, she was starting to regrow it, and it regrew in like this really strange, just like circle. Like instead of like the standard like regen henkeli tail, it's literally like a sundial looking thing. Like it's just like a
Okay.
um,
Okay, that's interesting.
like those pipefish
Yeah,
with
yeah.
like the circle tails.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It looks like that pretty much. It's really funny. So yeah, really goofy animal there. But the male to that pair is Hank. So the Hank is like what I would consider my like almost like my mascot. I feel like I don't know. I feel like every time I post him, he gets like the most like engagement. I would say as far as
Yeah,
people
yeah.
being like, "Oh, the animal's insane!" Like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's Hank." Like he's kind of got this notoriety. In my opinion, at least over here, he's one of like in my opinion, one of the prettiest, Hankali over here. At least when it comes to coverage, like it seems like he's almost as covered as like I don't know some of the best females out there, which is really really cool and not the most common for male Hankali from what I've seen. Um,
Awesome.
and yeah, so just decided to take the year off from them and build that female up, and then I think the rough hatch date would make it around 20 months in May of this past year. So I ended up pairing him then end of May ish. It took a while to get that female's calcium reserves up.
Okay.
Maybe it was because she was still growing, but she had kind of tapered off for a while, and it was kind of hard to build up the calcium reserves. So I was like calcium dusting pinkies and feeding those like once a month.
Yeah, yeah.
And like really just like caking my crickets up and feeding those to her. And yeah, so I paired them up in June, end of May, June-ish, and then yeah, got eggs in July, and then yeah, 120 days later they hatched this past
Nice.
week, and oh my
Nice.
gosh, I could not be happier with the babies.
The pale baby is the nicest henkei I've ever seen. I don't really like henkei, but it's the nicest henkei I've ever seen. It's insane. It's insane.
Way to rain on my parade.
They're wicked. Is it a pair?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah?
It looks like a pair. So
Awesome.
I'm seeing the striations on the male. It was really cool because the other thing about henkeli is that like you don't see a lot of males with like the pure white.
Mm-hmm.
Like piebaldism, it's usually like an off cream color.
Yeah.
Like it is on Hank. He's got a lot of coverage, but it's not like the crispest of white. This
Sure,
baby is like paper white, like a really impressive animal. And then yeah, the other one is just like orange and cream colored, which is strange on a female because usually they're the ones that go like pure white. So it was a surprise clutch or a surprise to just see what came out. Um, yeah, it just makes me so excited to get those going next year. Unfortunately, it was weird. It was my only clutch of eggs. Um, and I don't exactly know what I attribute that to, but I have some ideas of some things I want to change for next year.
Okay.
So we can also talk on that. Maybe for the sake of the podcast, maybe we'll just um, share some photos really quick.
I
of those
think you
things.
beat me to it.
See if I
That's
can
just what I was trying.
figure out share screen here.
You got it?
Here I can do it. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I've got it up here. They're just awesome babies. They're unreal. Look at them.
Is it sharing all right?
Yeah, it's looking good. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see the males over here on the left.
Yeah.
And you can see he's kind of got like these striations in the skin.
Yeah.
Especially down here by the base of the tail, you can kind of see where it does have that like rough bark appearance. So that's usually traditional of a male.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then yeah, so like the crispness of the white. I mean, it's like whiter than the freaking egg and the perlite it came out of.
It's crazy.
And
It's
then
crazy.
over. And I don't know if you've seen my other male henkeli butcherbird.
I think I
But
have.
he's kind of got that white as well. Um, and it was really cool to get the animal because it's very few you see with that crisp white. And then yeah, the female over here on the right, like the more you look at her, it's just like the more you see like different colors pop in. Like obviously,
Mhm.
like the first thing is just like the white banding. And I think it would have been white if it wasn't for all this like orange that's just like covering the
Yeah.
rest of her. It looks like the orange is kind of bleeding into some of the white areas or like laying over it,
It is.
and
Yeah.
causing that like off color.
Just the little hints of green.
So that's really
There's all
strange.
sorts going on.
Yeah, some green as well.
Yeah.
Um,
She's
so
epic.
yeah, I'm yeah, it'll be insane to grow that thing out and see what that thing turns into.
So how many hanks do you have now for getting the babies?
Uh, I think my ratio sits at 3.4 for like mature animals or like getting there, or at least like mature animals and grow outs.
Amazing.
And then I think yeah. So then the two babies, and then I actually recently picked up a another little female henkeli just to add to the bloodline diversity
Nice.
as well.
Nice. Nice.
But yeah, that's what happened to me this week. But yeah, we could touch on some things I think I would want to change as well.
Yeah, I've got a few questions as well.
I guess next.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And for me, this week's been a bit wicked. Got a new species unlocked. It's not a leaftail, but finally bred some.
Shucks.
Yeah, mental. But it's some Shinisaurus. So finally after a long 9-month wait, we've got some Shinisaurus babies. Shinisaurus crocodilius, or is it the other way around? The Chinese crocodile lizard. So this girl
Yeah.
was shaped
No, you
like
got
a
it right.
yeah. She's been shaped like a American football for 7 months now, and she just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was like, one day I looked at her and I went out. I went out on Halloween night. I went out with all my mates, got drunk, came back the next morning, and I saw her just on the log, like on a bit of cork, and I was like, huh, she's on the cork. She's never up there. Huh, she looks skinny. Oh, she's skinny. And I walked off, and I was like, because I'm still like half drunk, and I'm like, wait, hang on, and I like
Yeah.
walked back. I was like, she's given birth, and there was 7. The final count came to 7 babies, but they were everywhere. There was one on the glass. There was
That's
one.
insane.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I found 3 originally, and I was like, oh, cool, 3 babies, wicked. And I kept coming back every half an hour, and there was another one on the glass, or there was one on a pothos or something. And I was just like, I was at number 6. I was like, surely not. And I set the tanks up. I came downstairs, and 4 hours later, I found a 7th.
Oh my god.
They're so fucking cool.
I can't even imagine.
They're so cool. It was funny though, because I was like, I'm just going to keep coming back every 4 hours because there's going to be more babies. but it's a 7.
So what's the traditional like litter size in those things?
It can kind of go from 2 is kind of like the lowest. 3 is kind of standard, but they can go up to 15. So I hit it pretty bang in the middle. I think the average though is 4. Most people get.
Okay.
So when I saw,
I was gonna say
like, okay,
7.
that's cool.
That's a lot of babies.
It's a lot, yeah. I mean, she was huge. I mean, she was, I don't know, she was big. And you know what? She ate all the way up till giving birth. So I was like feeding her. I was like, okay, well, she didn't eat for 2 weeks at one point, but this was a month before she gave birth. And I was like, oh, any day now. I mean, she went another month, and I was a bit confused. But she ate the day before she gave birth. So she I don't know. It might have pushed it out, but seven's pretty big. Most things considered, that's pretty big for a shitty. So yeah. So all these
awesome.
they're being experimented on right now. We've got 3 setups.
Yeah, with raising them up.
Yeah, I've had mixed opinions. I've been kind of been held quite a lot through the process by 2 of like the biggest in the UK. I won't say names in case they don't want to be named, but they know who they are. One of them's bred probably 200 Shinisaurus in his life. In the last 10 years. So what's that? 20 a year on average. But I mean, right now he's got 11 adult pairs, so he knows his stuff. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then the other guy, you know, he breeds 10 or something a year. But yeah, they've held my hand. They said basically keep them the same as the adults, the exact same. Well, it's the exact same, but no live plants, and you know, just a little bit more sterile. Do regular water changes. Then I get the American opinion from some people over here on, you know, your side, and they the opposite. So I've kind of done a bit of a 50-50 mix in terms of keeping. So we'll get the results soon. None of them perished, but it's a first for me. So
yeah,
you know, it's probably the same when you got your first Leaftails.
Yeah. I thankfully I kind of went through the ringer raising babies, like as like, you know, animals I've purchased before I ended up breeding.
Oh really?
Adults.
Okay, yeah.
Or I think I back when I first started, I think it was Sakura that I got some baby Sakura to grow out before I ever hatched them.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which I think was good for the learning experience, because I feel like if I had mucked up like babies I had produced, I think that would literally kick me in the balls, and like that would have set me back a bit.
Yeah.
So you're saying, why no? Just out of curiosity, with the baby setups, why no? There's an emphasis on no live plants.
Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. What I'll do in editing, I'll put the photos of the tanks or something here. But from what I've heard, plants can, I mean, obviously it helps with nitrates normally in a normal tank. In my mind, it would be a good thing, but I don't know what it is. They're saying just keep the water as clean as possible, nothing in it apart from like sterilized branches and rocks. I don't know why.
Huh.
But you know, a lot of people, what they do, they raise the babies with adults in the adult tank. A lot of people just keep them in the tanks with the adults for probably 3 months. No fighting. There's nothing really that goes on. The adults don't care. They sit on their heads. You know, they just get on with it. So this is what I mean. You get very like conflicting information. Like one saying don't keep plants, one saying keep them with the adults, and obviously the adults tanks have like 6 different species of plants. So
Do you think it's the inability to sterilize the plants before they go in is what kind of hangs some people up on them?
I'm not sure. I mean, a lot of people, the people who say put plants in, they say obviously shake the off, so it's just the roots in the water, and then try and clean the plants as much as possible. I think it's just the limit, you know, eliminate any foreign object being in there that might be a bit awkward for the people say they're really fragile, but you bred Manawi loads, or you know, with me Fantasticus, like they're fragile in that first month sometimes. Shinisaurus 10 times, 20 times. Like in my mind, I'm like they shouldn't be that fragile. They're quite big. Like your little middle finger.
I feel like if anything, I feel like if anything, it's just like the stuff you don't see is probably what people are afraid of. All it takes is for like, you know, somebody to like snip a clipping from like a questionable tank, and then introduce some interesting fish disease into there.
Exactly.
Shinisaurus grow. That's it. I almost imagine that's probably what it is. Not necessarily the plant itself, but just like the source of the plant can be very hard to get right.
I think so. Yeah, but then also there's the argument of adding beneficial bacteria from like the filtration. So like wring out the sponge and put like a teaspoon or something of that in the water, so
Right.
like gut development, like you would with like or something like that. Like live bearing animals, they kind of benefit from the adults. Well, again, it's like feces, isn't it? Or I suppose with them it's the water. So
Yeah, coprophagy. Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. But we've got the free.
Yeah.
Sorry, go
Yeah.
on.
And no, I was just also thinking about because you were mentioning earlier that it's like usually like the fungal infections that can take out babies really quick, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
they say
Yeah.
it's they develop white spots, and pretty much as soon as they've developed these white spots, it's a fungal infection, but they kind of drop off in about a day of getting them. So by the time you realised, it's probably too late. Um, that argument is just there's not enough land area, so they're always surrounded by humidity, moisture, too much water, and they can't dry off. So it's that argument. So with the I've now actually got like a basking bulb. It's like a 25 watt halogen on a platform, and it gets to about 30 degrees. It doesn't get hot, it's like 30s max. And when it's about 20 and gets down to like 60 at night. But there's loads and loads of land area from like the original photos. Like it's basically all land and then water underneath, but loads of places to get out. And they seem to be doing the best actually. Out of all the experiment tanks, they're doing the best. They're all fat and small,
Yeah.
and they're running around, they're swimming, skiing. It's hilarious.
Yeah. And they're utilizing that basking area pretty readily.
You know what? All of them. And they sit there in the day. So it's only on for about 7 hours a day. I think it's from 11 to 6 or 11 till 5. And yeah, they sleep underneath the branches or on the basking platform, and they wake up because it's close to the LED and the UVB as well. And then, yeah, they bask for half an hour, they go for a swim, they chase some crickets, and then they go back up and bask, and they just do that all day. It's wicked. And then the ones in the other tanks, they're really lethargic, but it's almost like they're going because they're always hiding, and they're just slower. They aren't, they've got water bowls rather than a paludarium, and they're just a bit slower. They kind of walk around a little bit, they pop in the water, and then they hide for 11 hours a day. So very different behaviour, and they are noticeably a little bit skinnier as well. So they're probably not eating for a few reasons.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know. If I was you, I don't know. Because I know you're going back and forth a bit too. It's like, I mean, if you're already seeing positive results, like I don't know. I would probably just stick to what makes sense in your head.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like I think if you use too many people, the amalgamation of a lot of different opinions can definitely steer you down the wrong route. I think just sticking to what you think makes sense in your head, just from what your experience has told you. I think just trusting yourself. I think you'll get the most success there. Just sticking to what formula makes sense versus incorporating 10 different strategies into one.
Yeah, I think the last week's shown me that as well. I think it's kind of just stick to. At the end of the day, they are semi-aquatic animals, and in the paludarium, there's loads of space for land and water and basking. So it kind of, if that's not going to work, then I mean, what will? So yeah, I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. It's
Right.
But we need to figure it out soon though, because I've got a second female about to drop. So yeah, we need more paludariums building.
Do you think failure with raising the babies, do you think another aspect of that is, do you think some keepers put the baby tanks together too late, in the fact that like it hasn't had like time to cycle before you introduce animals that are, defecating in the water and all that? Do you think there is an aspect of that to it as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I didn't expect this girl to drop when she did. Luckily, I had a tank set up. The paludarium was there, thankfully. But apart from that, I mean, if you didn't have, I wouldn't want to leave because the girl that gave birth, it's in a trio. Um, I wouldn't want to leave the babies in there longer than need be, just in case the other female decided to be a bit aggressive towards the opposite, female's offspring or whatever else. And the last thing you want to do is get these animals, and they are rare. They're hard to. Some people say they're hard to breed. They're rare CITES animals, and I feel like if you have these animals, you've kind of got a bit of a responsibility, haven't you? And it's kind of get them going, get them breeding, and when you have success, do everything right by the animal. Same with any animal, but when an animal's endangered and CITES, it always adds a little bit more pressure, I think. So just doing your kind of due diligence and getting a bit prepared for this kind of thing, it'll help yourself and confidence and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't sound confident with the babies, but I'm glad I had the tank.
We're kind of, trial by fire. It sounds like over there.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like shit. We got Shinies now. Sort it out.
Yeah. It's super impressive, man.
Yeah, cheers, man.
How long have you been keeping that species for?
It's only been about.
What was the origins of your adults?
So the origins, they're pretty much all the same bloodline. Obviously the trio, they're unrelated, but I've got a second pair as well. So I've got 2.3 in total, and they're all somewhat related, bar one female. That's why she's in the trio. They all come from one guy in the UK because, again, the guy's kind of mentored me, but he's bred the most in the country, so that's what's available. But I've had them for the trio now for about 9 months. So it's basically, as soon as I bought them, it was about a week after they paired. So it was quite funny because I bought them, I couldn't pick them up for about 2 months, and in that 2 months they paired. And the guy was like, well, you can buy the tank now as well because it's obviously working. And bought the tank, came back, and since then I've had no issues. They're probably some of my favourite animals to keep now. They're just funny, dopey little things that just, it's wicked seeing them swim around, and they go mental for food. It's awesome. And just the behaviours are nice. But I've had them for about a year, 9 months or something like that now. So it's basically, I've had them for the gestation. So glad when the babies came out. It was nice to see that there was no runts, no deformities, or at least that kind of put me a bit at ease. Like, okay, well, the calcium and the supplementation and the food must have been alright. So, but they're really easy to keep. I know they're semi-aquatic. I've never even kept a goldfish before, but they're pretty easy to keep. Just put a filter in there and a few other bits, and they do well.
Yeah. And then, do you have like a plan for, I guess, getting that female back on track? I don't know if it's like if it's like snakes or something like that, where like you have to be very on top of building that female back up, or if you have any plans for cycling, I guess, for gearing up for next year. Yeah,
of course. So they're going to go into a brumation. It's going to be somewhere between 2 and 4 months, but it all depends on kind of the weather outside. I'm aiming for that sweet spot of about 3, maybe 4 months. The ambient temps now, they're slowly dropping down in that room. It's probably like 18, 20 in the day, 16, 17 at night. But they're going to go into kind of like brumation tubs, individual tubs, maybe 30 centimetres by 20 centimetres. Bit of sphagnum moss, cork, round, and a water bowl. And they're going to go basically chill for 4 months, 3 months. Downstairs toilet, it's tiled, it's cold, over winter, 10 degrees. Yeah, and they'll be golden. So they'll have a sleep. They'll get ready for next season. Bring them out in April. And the increase of food should get them going, and the temperature. But for the females that are giving birth now, just the same thing you would with any other animal. The day she gave birth, she had a pinky like drowned in calcium, and she about took my hand off when I offered it. She went mental, and then she had about 7 earthworms, like medium earthworms, which are pretty big. So I'll have to show you. Like, I'll try and put it on the screen. Maybe her belly, like, was so concaved in. I was like, shit, she is done for. That does not look good. But no, she was good, and she looks nice now. She's up and about, and for the first time in 6 months, she's actually doing stuff. So she's not just hiding,
not just laying, lounging. Cooking those eggs.
Exactly. But no,
They're
wait.
cooking those,
Yeah, I know.
cooking those babies, yeah.
Yeah. You should get some.
You know what I mean?
You'll love them. Get them next to your Obronia. Get all the life berries.
one of my buddies, he should one of my buddies should be producing some here pretty soon actually.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got big plans for him and all that, but if he ever does decide to let any go, then I might. But
Yeah.
I finally saw some in person for the first time this past week or so, and
Yeah.
that was cool to see. He had some gravid females that were just like, the size of sausages. It was pretty cool.
It's cool, isn't it? I think it's really impressive.
Yeah. One of these days.
But yeah, so
I've got a lot going on right now. I gotta check off. I'll check off Bronya. It'll be my gift to myself for checking out Bronya off the list.
speaking of a lot going
Another
on,
life bear. I gotta finish part 1 or stage 1.
speaking of a lot going on, you've got some new additions, haven't you?
Yeah. It was another good week for new additions too.
Nice.
I picked up some Matoetoa brevips, sorry, which is the Toliera ghost gecko or salamander gecko.
Okay.
And they're like these really neat little Malagasy geckos.
Nice.
They're from the southeast, so spiny forest. And it'll be fun to play with those. I'm excited. I'm gonna try and source some Malagasy plants or spiny forest plants to kind of do like a cool little pseudo biotope for them.
Yep, that'd be cool.
And hopefully get those rolling. But yeah, they're a neat little micro gecko. They're only like maybe like 3 or 4 inches long, but they're like no bigger around than like a pencil.
Awesome, man. Is
they
that
have
on
such
your,
a funky head?
is that on your social
No, I haven't
media?
posted them on the. No, not yet. I'll do a post later, but I don't know if you just want to pull up a picture from Google or anything. But the head is what gets me. Like it's so short. Like they don't really have anything of a snout, really. Like it truly is like a salamander that is just like eyes, and then like the mouth is like right there.
It's so cool. So it's the Malagasy water skink, is that right?
No. So Matoetoa brevips. It's the ghost gecko, or Toliera ghost gecko, or salamander gecko.
That's how we go.
You look up salamander gecko, and it's like salamander versus gecko. It's like, no, we don't want that.
Is it this one here?
Let's see. Yeah.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah, that one.
They're funny
The
looking
way that
things,
they
aren't
walk
they?
is so strange too. They're so weird, and like,
Yeah.
so like looking at them in the cup, it was cool because they were, how like salamanders will do like a S-shaped like walking pattern. They'll like scrunch up, like they'll like scrunch their bodies into like a big S. Like they can do that too. Like they have like full flexibility. It's like the strangest thing. And you can see like there's one on like a thorn plant right there in a terrarium. It's like, yeah, that's what I want right there.
Nice.
But yeah, treat them, I guess, similarly to like a temperature-wise, similar to like a Pictus gecko. And,
Okay.
That female's proven she's been laying eggs this year, so hopefully if I cool them down a little bit and then heat them up again in the spring, hopefully next year we'll pop some eggs out. They shouldn't be too difficult to breed, but them being like a small gecko, I'm sure there's a lot that might happen, so I just gotta be prepared in case that female takes a toll or something.
So how are you keeping these guys?
Right now they're just in like a well ventilated tub, but
Yep.
mainly just to buy me time until I buy plants. It was a very fast turnaround thing, so I had to quickly scramble to get that tank set up, and then now on the hunt for some cool plants before I do them a nice terrarium. But I think I'll do like a simple setup in like a 12 by 12 by 12 or like a 12-12-18.
Okay. Yeah.
The guy I got them from, he was keeping the 2.1 together. So I am doing that right now, and I think I'm going to do that until I can find another female to split one of the males off of with. And yeah, so I think I'll probably move them into something with some better ventilation. So like maybe like not like a screen enclosure, but like a just like a open topped, Zoom Ed 12, 12, 8, 12. the constraints on those or the tolerances on those should be tight enough that I don't think I'm worried about them escaping as long as I collect eggs.
Yep.
Babies I'm a little worried about, but like they should be okay for those. So, and then yeah, I think I'll do like a simple sand soil mixture, and then
Yep.
stack some cork bark in the back, and then add in some twigs and some branches, and yeah, do something like that. I will be doing, spiny forest, so it is pretty warm out there. So yeah,
Yep.
definitely going to be doing like basking and maybe a little bit more intense UV. Them maybe not intense UV, given that they are fairly nocturnal. So
What do you reckon?
just moderate UV, and then like a like a good basking spot in like the high 80s, low 90s, and then
Okay, cool. So pretty easy
call it
to
good
keep.
on that. Yeah,
They're very straightforward.
yeah. No,
like,
they
aren't
shouldn't be too hard. Yeah,
Mm.
they are. They're. I almost liken them to like a Strophaurus maybe like a Tanacata.
Okay, yeah.
Not super similar, but like maybe if like a similar, like if I was raising like a baby Tanacata, I might keep them similar, where I am keeping them a little bit more humid than other Strophaurus species, but
Okay, yeah.
not like soaking wet or anything like that.
This is an interesting salamander gecko on the right here.
Yeah,
Don't believe what you see on the internet.
yep.
But
Goddamn tag words.
Anything else that's new, or is it just the salamander geckos?
Let's see more of those. Picked up another. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier in the episode. Yeah, picked up that other henkeli.
Yep.
It looks like a little female right now. So, dude, I was super bummed because I threw her in like this tank with a divider, the center divider, because I split up some of the 10-10-12s just to do like baby housing. So I had like a baby Sakura and the other one, and I had the
Okay, yeah.
henkeli in this one, and the fucking Sakura. I don't know what it did, but I came in like the day after I dropped the henkeli in there, and I think it dropped its tail. And I think the Sakura
No.
like tried to nab it or something.
Oh,
I think it just got through the center divider, and I think the Sakura tried to nail it because you know how fucking crazy those things can be sometimes.
they're
movement.
ridiculous.
They can
Yeah,
be
yeah,
very, yeah. So I think something like that happened. So, but I mean, like, she's eating, she's doing great. So I'm not worried about the well-being of the animal. It's more just like, oh Jesus.
Well, at
Hate
least
it
she's
when they do
alright.
that.
It's
It's the
awful when
worst.
they drop the tails. It's
Yeah.
awful. Do you?
Yeah.
Here's one for you. We get this quite a lot. Do you get spider problems in the States? We get.
Yeah.
You do, yeah, because we get real bad problems with false widows. So it's like, what's that
Will
called?
they get into terrariums?
Yeah, they seem to somehow get in. So
Okay.
I've got the.
I don't have a huge problem with them like getting in the terrarium, but they are just like in the tent, or like I do have spiders like in the tent though.
Okay. It's a bit better now, but a few months ago I had a real problem, and I don't know how. I've got the Exoterra, like the frog vivarium tanks. It's like screen on
Yeah, the
one
frog and co
side,
ones,
and
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
they're all in those, and there's only like half of it's mesh, but it's really fine mesh. Anyway, I think they were getting in through the where you put the cables in the back, the small gaps. I think they
Yeah,
were getting in
yep.
through there.
Yeah.
So I've taped those off now, and I think it's kind of slowed down. But I lost two geckos from it. I lost a Sakura and a Fantasticus, and the worst part was, both of it was shit. But the Fantasticus female was about a week off laying her clutch as well.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, she was stunning, just jet black.
Wait, so how did
yeah.
how did you like so like those spiders that you have over there
Mhm.
are they're like aggressive enough to like go into terrariums and like
Oh yeah.
go after?
Oh yeah. They'll sit in
Wow.
they'll sit in the like in the top corners near the UV and whatever, so it's nice and warm.
Yeah.
And they're big. These spiders are bloody massive. I'll get one up on the side in a second. But they just bite the gecko once, and that's it. And it's always quite obvious if they have been bit, because some reason in my experience it's always been the back legs. They always get bitten on like the back right or left leg, and basically when they die, the top half is normal coloured, and the bottom half is black, and it kind of shrivels a little bit. It's really weird. It's horrible.
Oh.
It's horrible. But I don't know why. They just seem
Yeah, you
to.
might want. Yeah, you could also look into the type of or the style of venom that the spiders have.
Yeah, yeah. Here,
You know, you put going through Facebook sometimes and seeing like, oh, my like ex animal just died randomly today. Like was fine last night and is now like on the floor of my enclosure like
yeah, yeah,
twitching.
yep,
Do you think a portion of those things you see on Facebook has to do with these spiders?
yeah, 100%.
Holy
So,
Christ, look at that fucking thing.
so that's like an exceptionally big one, but that is kind of like full size, and these things are arseholes. And like normal any spider, they have massive litters, and or I don't keep spiders, I don't know the term, but
I'm sure they're just getting in when they're babies.
oh yeah,
Like
they
I'm
yeah
sure
yeah
they're
yeah.
going into the terrariums as babies and like smoking crickets and then like as soon as they're big enough to oh that is
So
ugh
my theory
ugh.
is that because they thrive in the climate of Madagascar, so all these geckos, and they thrive in England's just climate. I think they mainly come from the base of plants you buy from shops. So all these reptile shops sell
Yeah.
plants, and they all have spider problems just because it's just a massive hub for anything like that. You buy these plants, and when you put them in your terrarium, and if you've not cleaned them properly, I think there's like eggs or little babies in there, and then they just propagate and they just grow up and grow up and grow up, and eventually they nail your gecko. Um, and if you have a custom
That's
background or
terrifying.
something, what's it called? It's like
Yeah.
I in my tanks I use a lot of the it's like I don't know what it is. It's like cocoa fiber matting or something, and a silicone it to the sides.
Hmm.
Anyway, they get inside. They like lay
Yeah.
eggs inside of there, and then they just
Like the tree fern and stuff.
yeah, exactly. That's it. Um,
Yeah, okay.
but massive problem. So yeah, I lost a sick ray and a Fant not so long ago.
Ah, Jesus.
Yeah,
That's awful.
it is awful.
Cuz it's I hate losing animals to like cuz we over here at least in the summer we get really bad ant problems, like really bad
Hmm.
Argentine ant problems.
Yep.
And that's also horrible because it's they'll just come out of nowhere. Like you'll go to work in the morning, everybody will be fine. You'll come home and you'll find like ants have like clapped like three geckos on your bottom rung of shelves, and
Oh.
like it's they're extremely. So I think yeah. So like these tiny little black ants, and they get in the summer. It gets really, it gets warm outside, so they're
Hmm.
looking for water and they're looking for food. They're either in the mode where they're looking for sugar or in the mode where they're looking for protein.
Got you.
And it's when they're in the mode that they're looking for like each colony will assess like okay, do I need sugar or do I need protein? And then they'll go after that thing. And it's when they go after the protein in the water is when it like becomes like a real issue because then they're looking for dead crickets. And
Yeah.
then I think
Yeah.
what happens, I don't know if they necessarily target the live geckos, but I think they go after the dead crickets in the terrarium,
Hmm.
and then just by proxy, an ant will like walk over a gecko, and the gecko will like swat it or like flick it or something, and then they'll release that triggering hormone that gets everything to like fucking attack that gecko
Oh my
or to like
god.
swarm it as like a threat. And I think it's one of those where, it can just yeah. So I think I've lost close to like 10 geckos this year from that, and
Shit. Really?
yeah, yeah, it was awful. Not all Uroplatus, thankfully, but some Pictus geckos or Madagascar ground geckos upstairs. I lost a couple of tubs of those
So
due to fucking ants.
what's the best way to kind of prevent ants? So that sounds like a nightmare.
I love okay. So my new best friend has been
Hmm.
the little pearls, the little ant bait pearls
Okay.
that come in like this big um, jug, and you just sprinkle a ring around your house as like a barrier. Because usually what happens is they get in through one of the walls, and they'll climb in through the walls, and they'll live in the walls, and then they'll just test different locations. So they'll go like people have problems with them going through pipes. And stuff like that. So like it's not something you should like treat inside your house because like once they're in the walls, they can attack from anywhere, you know. So you can almost have to barrier off your entire house. But I really like this, like the granular ant bait. As soon as you set a ring of that, it's the problems seem to go away.
Okay.
Um, but they're getting in from somewhere, so you can just be, I guess, on top of it, looking around your house. But it can be hard when you're living in like an apartment, for example, to fully control that. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
it sucks, and you know, yeah, it's a huge bummer because you feel for the things because you find them and like yeah, they like drop their tails and
Oh,
yeah,
man.
there's no saving them.
Yeah, it sucks. So over getting into the tent.
Yeah, yeah. So the tent's in the
Man.
garage, so they can come right through the fucking door, and yeah, it
Jeez.
was awful. It was really bad.
It's terrible, isn't it, when you see like a gecko that's dropped its tail and it's dead, or the sicker that I lost from the spider. I saw it. It was like perfect. The tail was like it dropped its tail as well. It was like perfectly next to the gecko, and it was just like shit, man. That gecko went through it.
Yeah,
It sucks.
yeah,
It really sucks.
and yeah. It got yeah, and there's some. It's kind of like scary because like after you fought off like some ants, like if you like interrupt their like stream
Yep.
or like their path,
Mhm.
if you interrupt that and like you kill off a bunch of them or whatever, because I that's what I would do. I'd take like a vinegar soap, Dawn dish soap spray,
Yep.
and I'd spray the crap out of them, and that would like kill them instantly. Um, After you've done that, the remnant ants will like find a new spot to like regroup. So you'll kill off like the main trail, and then like a day later you'll like be opening up tubs to like feed, and you'll just like see like a fucking swarm of ants just like chilling in like the back of like a snake tub, and you're just like, where the hell did these come from? There's no trails or anything. They've just like one ant has gone there and like released like a signal to like group all the remaining ants there to regroup. It's like the ants are just ugh.
Oh my god! You could make a you
They're
could make a
it's
movie.
impressive how you can make a horror movie out of those damn
Yeah, you
things.
could.
Like thankfully like that's what happened is I killed off like the mainstream that got upstairs and killed off some of my ground geckos,
Mhm.
and I thought it was out of the woods, and then I opened up one of my green tree python tubs, and there was just like a fucking mound of ants in the back of it. Thankfully, my green tree was fine, but it's
Jeez,
still quite shocking to see.
it's terrifying.
Yeah,
It's like an invisible battle almost because they're so bloody small, and
yeah,
there's
yeah,
thousands of them
yeah,
as well.
exactly. Yeah, you get
Shit.
up close. It's like yeah, like I got carpet upstairs, so like there's no way I could kill. Like, yeah, so you look close and you start seeing little movements. And you're just like, oh Jesus.
Oh god.
And then you'll come home and like you do like a quick walk and like all right, everything's good, everything's good. You start to
Mhm.
spray, and then like you spray one tank, and all of a sudden you just see like ants just like shooting out of it because they're like getting fended off by the water, and you're just like, oh no.
Oh my god. Oh my
And then
god.
you look closely, and then there's just thousands of them. Yeah, ants are the worst, man.
Well,
Ants and spiders.
yeah.
Thankfully, the spiders here aren't super. They're not super aggressive towards like reptiles or anything. Like very few people I've heard have had problems with spiders actively killing the reptiles.
Mhm.
Usually they're okay because they'll just eat the crickets you drop by accident in your room.
Yeah, yeah.
But over here, it's the ants that are the worst, I think.
Bugger. Well, moving on to something a bit more positive. I've got a question from earlier. We were mentioning about your henkeli. You said
Yeah.
you've got a 3.4 mature adults. Is that right?
Yeah. So I've got so I've got Hank and his lady, and then
Mhm.
I've got Butcherbird, which is the other male that I've got, and then
Yep.
I've got a mature pied female for him. This is coming next year, and then I've got a third male. His female, or the female that I plan on pairing him up with, is still only about like maybe a little bit bigger than a Sakura. So I think it'll be another year before I pair them.
Okay.
Just take it slow, no rush on those. And so I might send that mail out to some buddies and see if they can use him for anything. At least he can be productive.
Yep.
And yeah, so we're there. I think we're at a 3.3 now, a 3.4 with that added
Mhm.
unrelated Hankeli, and then yeah, the pair that hatched out recently. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at now.
Awesome, dude.
Which is super exciting. Yeah, no, Hankeli. I go back and forth on what like my favorite big Uroplatus is. After seeing those hatch, I was like, you know what? these might be some of my favorites, just because like I mean they really are big Sakura,
Yeah,
big hardy Sakura at the end of the day.
yeah, yeah.
Like everything about them makes them super like I think they're one of those that it's actually like very well. I don't know. I think the natural history of them translates really well to captive keeping,
Mhm.
just because they are fairly heat tolerant. Um, they can take a dry spell here and there. They're big. They're beautiful. Um, Sometimes they got some attitudes and all, but for the most part, they're at least some of them are okay behaved. A lot of them will take food off tongs, so they're really
Mhm.
great feeders. So I think there's a lot of benefits to them. They're not so big like a Fimbriatus that you have to like custom make a 224 for
Mm.
or anything like that. Like they're happy in a 3x18x3 or a tank you can buy from the store. So
No,
I
good.
think they are just that perfect impressive size.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. And do you keep them in pairs, or do you experiment with trios at all?
I don't. I just keep them in pairs.
Yeah.
Mainly just so I can keep track of who made who and all that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I have heard that I don't know. I've just heard a lot of Uroplatus people say that like less productive in 1.2s than just pairs
yeah.
all
Really,
around.
really. Okay, that's interesting. I've got
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
I'm trying out first time with my Fantasticus. Uh, Currently got 3 trios. I've still got a couple pairs, just kept by themselves, but 3 trios for now. I just want to see what happens, really.
Yeah, I kept Ebanawi in trios. I think maybe for the Ebanawi group stuff, it's a little bit easier to do that,
You reckon?
and they were
Okay.
super productive. I mean, Ebanawi, right? Like they will
Yeah,
be productive no matter
they're
what. But
machines.
for the bigger stuff, yeah,
Yeah,
I have
nice.
heard from the bigger stuff like Sakura or a Fimbriatus group stuff that like generally pairs are the way to go for those as far as like translating to both females laying
Yes. Yeah.
consistently
Yeah, yeah.
from what I've heard.
They're quite big as well, aren't they? I could imagine if the girls ever decided to piss each other off, they could do some damage, couldn't they?
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know if they would be aggressive like that. I do know like my Sakura whenever I've tried, communal or not communal, but like cohabitating
Mhm.
same sex Sakura, whether that be for winter cooling or raising them up, they were always not the best with that. For me at least, I'd find tail nips and like
Oh, really?
bite marks and like jaw marks on animals, and I was like, you know what, this is, and I think it's just all food response, um, but
It could be. I think it's food
they are very
response.
easily triggered.
I don't think they're naturally aggressive animals like any of these Uroplatus. I think they're quite. I mean, apart from
Yeah,
Sicerae seem to hate me, and so do Lineatus or Lineatus. They hate me. They all hate me. Um, but no, I think they're okay with each other. I've got friends in the UK who keep. They even keep trios of Giganticus. They keep trios of. I mean, you keep Lineatus in a trio, don't you?
yeah, I used to, yeah.
Used to. Got you.
Yeah, back to pairs. But I mean, yeah. So I mean, lineages are a hard one to judge because they've been hit or miss for me as far as productivity.
Mhm.
They've either done really well or just like a single clutch year.
Really? Wow.
It's kind of hard to get those. For me at least, it's been hard to like really nail all of them at once. Um, I think calcium stores is one of those that you have to watch on those especially.
Yeah.
I think it can be harder to keep track on Lineatus just given their morphology. Like I think, or their physiology, just because like I feel like their calcium sacs are a little bit harder to visualize and to see consistently and keep track of.
Yeah.
Like I
Then.
feel like
Yeah.
they're a little more subtle on Lineatus than the other species.
Definitely. Definitely. They're a bit more cryptic in that way.
So I think if right, yeah, it's almost like kind of hidden in their neck,
Yeah.
a bit better than the other species. Where like I think sometimes I feel like I have um, not kept I didn't think I kept the best track of that this past year,
Mhm.
and I think some of the females got a little bit calcium stores got a little bit under
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
got a little bit too low, and I think that kind of caused them to stop laying prematurely or to stop building eggs prematurely.
Got you.
Um,
Got you.
I think they have the ability to do that, and I don't. It's interesting because I feel like maybe some of the bigger stuff has that ability, but some of the smaller stuff, Ebenaui fantasticus, maybe don't.
Mm.
Because I feel like my Ebenaui seem to breathe themselves into the ground if I'm not careful.
Yep, they try and kill themselves. That's for sure.
They'll just start shooting out just blanks at the end of the year, and it's like, no, stop. These aren't even fertile at this point. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. And that was one thing with the henkeli. It's like I think I even, back on the subject of the henkeli and things. I think I want to improve on those. I think, going into this cooling season, I think just every cricket I give that female will just be cake because I do want those calcium stores to be like, a little bit more prominent, and I think that'll track better to more clutches next year. Because like I was saying, I just got the one clutch, which was, in my opinion, kind of strange from a species that I've heard is fairly productive for a lot of people. So
It was just the one clutch, was it?
there's some stuff to improve there. Yeah, just the one
Wow.
clutch. I was
Wow.
shocked. I mean, I did pair late in the year. Like like I said, I paired early um early June,
Mhm.
late May, early June area,
Okay.
and yeah, I just got the one clutch in July, and that was it. Super strange.
It's
The
really
female's completely
surprising.
fine, like
Yeah.
showing no signs of lack of calcium as far as walking funny or anything like that, or anything like that. But um, she doesn't have the most obvious calcium stacks right now, and I think that's probably, if I had to surmise, that's probably why she stopped laying. It's just because I didn't have the calcium stores built up enough.
Possibly.
It was hard to
Yeah.
judge. It was the
Yeah.
first time I've ever bred that species, so it was kind of hard to, you know, um, visualize what they should be. Um, but that's one
Got
thing
you.
to improve for next year, I think.
Are they still housed together? Or are you taking a male out?
Yeah, I think I'll divide them because they're in the 3x18x3. I think I'll just
Yeah.
shove a divider in the middle of them for a couple months, and then probably pull that out in February. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, maybe just keep them separate for like 2 months, 2 or 3 months, and then yeah, pull the divider in February, and then see what happens. They are one though. Another thing I want to try is I think I do want to try some small basking bulbs with them. Some of the nanodomes, just like a 25 watt, either heat emitter
Yeah,
or
yeah.
incandescent, and just keep that on them. And I think that might help with the female um, in egg development. I've um, I've heard of some people that use those and have really good success, just because they are a species that kind of, you know, definitely not, I don't know about likes it, but will are from an area that definitely gets a little bit warmer.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I want to try that, just because I don't know if I'd necessarily try that with like a Sakura or anything, but for the Henkeli, they are one that seems to hang out very, very high up in the tank near the UV, and I think it is just correlated to their, them searching for heat a little bit.
Yeah. I think
Especially now
all
as
the
it's gotten colder. I've seen my animals really close to the top and
yeah.
in positions I haven't seen them do in a little while.
Yeah, got you. I think all the Fimbriatus kind of do the group. They seem to do better with a bit of heat. Like you said, maybe not the Sicare, but or Semeti, but definitely like your Giganticus, Fimbriatus, Lineatus. I know they're not part of the group, but they do better with a bit of heat, don't they?
Yeah, I'm interested to try that. Because I feel like, yeah, everybody says to keep your ambient low.
Mhm.
But if your animal's all crammed up next to the UV, then it's like, well, okay,
Yeah.
maybe we should be adding some supplemental heat there and letting him do that. Um,
Yeah, and I think if your tank's big
Especially for the
enough, you can
females.
offer it.
Yeah, and I think that seems to be the key there is yeah, giving them a tank big enough where it isn't like just forming like a massive heat bubble. And it's where ventilation comes into play. Like you just
Exactly.
want like a sunspot. You don't necessarily want to cook your tank. You just want that nice little sunspot for them to go hang out in.
Exactly. I think it's the saying in the monitor world. Um, Give them 1,000 degrees or 10 degrees. I don't care. Just give them options. You know what I mean? Like just as long as there's a place to where they can heat up and they can get away from heat, they'll figure it out themselves. They're not stupid. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But then again,
And yeah, I
I
mean,
wouldn't give
hey,
them
if I
plant
see my
packs.
Hankali, yeah. So yeah, now I'm curious on that. Like, you know, Like, um, do you think like egg development is greatly benefited by a little bit of supplemental heat? Like, do you think you see your female? I guess maybe the larger Uroplatus. Do you think you see your females like cooking themselves under the UV a little bit more frequently in the summer, when they are in that kind of like breeding phase?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Maybe more so than the males.
Yeah, it's a good
Like, do
question.
you think do you see like a behavioral difference between the two?
I definitely see the females when they're developing. They kind of seem to stay up in the canopy a lot more, sit under the UVB or the LED, and yeah, they definitely prefer the warmer temps. You know, they don't really venture down to the bottom. They kind of keep themselves to themselves, but they do stay up top quite a lot. But it's probably also helps, doesn't it? Because they're probably going to be eating more. They need to process food maybe a little bit
Yeah.
faster. So I mean, it makes sense. But
Right.
I do see them
Yeah.
hanging up top a lot. And a lot of the bigger stuff,
Yeah.
I find they don't breed unless you give them heat. Like the Lineartis, I think we said in the last episode, they just would not breed for me.
Yeah.
As soon as I gave them heat, they were literally that night locked up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super interesting. You saying that, I am hoping to breed Fimbriatus next year, so I think I will try that with all my big species.
Yep.
I think I'll just keep it to 25. You think 25 watt all around should be okay? I feel like it should be.
20,
Maybe if I go
25,
with the basking
35.
bulb route,
Yeah.
not the. Yeah.
I think
Would you go like heat emitters, or would you go like a physical like basking bulb? Do you think? Like, would you leave it on 24/7?
Yeah,
Just like
ceramic.
a low wattage. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do then. It's just 25 watt ceramics all
hello?
around. Um,
Well, I think I lost you then.
Still got
mate.
me?
Say that again.
I was just gonna say like, yeah, like, okay, so maybe I do try some ceramics all around. I almost want to try it for Peach Monty as well,
Really? Okay.
because they are like a high canopy species.
Mhm.
So I feel like out of any of them too, like I feel like they would also be one that would occasionally like for those, like I wouldn't want to leave it on longer than like maybe like 4 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Got you.
Like I feel like temperatures would absolutely drop off at night, but I feel like for them, like 4 hours of it, in the middle of the day, shouldn't. I feel like it's one of those things that they would get exposed to at least periodically.
Yeah.
And for them, they are one that I have seen my females like crammed up at the top under the fucking UV. Like I've seen them just like belly up. Here's the bulb. Here's the Peach Monty just chilling right under it. And it's a species that everybody's like, you gotta keep them cold. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that female is just sitting there cooking them. Seems to be cooking themselves. Purposefully. Like
Yeah. I think she's telling you.
They're creatures of They are creatures of habit, but when parameters haven't changed recently at all, they've seeked that spot out. Is what I'm trying to say.
Get
I
a
am
heater on
almost
there.
interested to try that. Yeah,
Yeah. See what happens.
try it out. Yeah,
You've still not bred those
kind of
guys,
treat them
have you?
like an abronia.
Yeah.
No, just gotten duds. Just gotten duds from one pair, and I think with them, I think I paired them too late in the year. I think my male was out of bullets to say when I paired them, and I think there is like a window where you do have to pair those things up, and I think I just missed the window
Got you.
for that male. This coming season, I should have either 2 or 3 pairs going, which is super exciting. So
Awesome.
I think I am going to try and pair in February. Just pair them early, and see what happens.
Nice. And those people, and for people who don't know, whereabouts do the Peach Damani come from? On the on the island of Madagascar.
So they're an East Coast. Yeah, they're like an East Coast species. So they come from like a really small mountain range.
Mhm.
Gosh, I want to say it's. Gosh, which one is it? Let me look it up. Let me pull up my Google Maps. It's like this very small section of forest, but they do kind of cross over with Fantasticus and Sakura. But they're a high canopy species, so they're up in the treetops a little bit. It was kind of interesting reading about them, and I I guess the only way that some of them were collected or found was when like people were like cutting trees down, um, and like they would like scamper out of like tree holes, um,
Wow.
as they were logging, which is sucks, but also kind of interesting that that's where they were hanging out. Uh, a few hypotheses is that it's to avoid competition with the other Uroplatus species as well. They've kind of hollowed out their own niche all the way up there at the treetops, but I think it's Andas Andasibe uh, Andasibe Mantidea National Park is an area that they are found in. So they are seemingly protected in that area, which is nice.
That's
nice
good
to see.
That's good. Yeah, let's get a photo up.
Yeah,
Because these guys are a bit on the...
they are a strange one.
Yeah, they're a bit on the... I don't know about in the States, but in the UK, I don't think there is any. I don't think one person owns these in the UK. So
None in the UK. That's surprising.
yeah, so I mean,
Because they are, I feel like they are in Europe. I feel like all of mine have come from Europe.
really, wow.
Or just about all of mine.
There we go. Let's open this up.
I think Bion tracks them down out there somehow, or tracks them down in Europe and then exports them here.
There we go. So for people who don't know, that is the Uroplatus. I can't say it properly. Pete Shamani. Is that right?
Yeah, Peachmani.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I've said it a million different times. I've kind of just landed on Peachmani. It's either, I don't know, PH like I don't know.
yeah, I've heard it a
can't be
couple
sure.
different ways. But they're part of the Alawadi group, aren't they?
Yeah.
So that's a gecko I do have. I do have an Alawadi male, and I have a female on the way. We can get those, and we can get Gunfari as well, but we can't get these. I don't know why.
God damn you.
Can you not get them?
As in, nobody will. As in, Gunther, I think like one dude has like a 2.1 or something in the States. Actually, that's a lie. I feel like they are. I feel like they are here, but like the people I can know, like there's like one or two people that I think have them.
Yep.
Like they're very few and far between, and they're a neat one. I've heard they're almost like a spiny. Are they a spiny forest? They're West Coast.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
They're like a drier spiny forest species of Uroplatus. Which, yeah, now that I got the Matoa, I want to start checking off some spiny forest species and doing some cool biotopes for those. So
definitely,
that's one that I do really really want to nail down one day is the Gunther. They remind me so much of Lineatus. I'm shocked that they're not part of that group. Honestly,
I'm shocked
I think
as well.
me and Hunter Graham were talking about that a little bit a while ago, and we were shocked that like, man, they should just lump those together because the heads are similar, the eyes are similar, the tails are extremely similar.
I mean,
it would make perfect sense that they would.
I know it's crazy. I mean, I'm looking at this photo now. I know there's a watermark on it, but
you can see the Lineatus in that thing though, like especially with the eyes and the head.
100%.
It's got the two little horns on the eyes.
It's such a weird mix of animals because it's Lineatus body and head, but then it's got the tail of a Alawadi. It's really strange.
If you look at the find one that doesn't have a regen tail.
Let's have a look. You reckon that's a regen?
And this is purely from my my non-scientific classification background. I should add. I'm sure they've done genetic work that has said otherwise to what I'm saying, but structurally they, in my opinion, they are very similar to Lineatus most of all.
Yeah, hopefully this loads. Okay. I mean, they are very similar. They look very similar to I keep changing it every time I say it. Alawadi as well. I mean, I think that's the one I pulled up first, but the head is very similar to a Lineatus. It's very, very similar.
Mossy Lineatus. A very barky Lineatus.
Yeah.
But like if you look at like the tail tip, it's got like that little spike at the tail.
Yeah.
That's kind of similar to Lineatus as well.
Yeah, you only really see that on those, don't you?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's one. If I can ever get those over here, then yeah, that's an instant cop for me. But that's strange because I feel like, so what's the process of getting animals from like a show? Because I feel like you could probably track Peachmani down if you could get them home.
Yes. So I think
Like it might be like a ham show kind of thing, but like I feel like you could
yeah.
track
So
them down.
because we've left. So with the UK, I'm not a politician. I don't really care about any of that. But so if I'm wrong, any UK listeners, I
Please
apologise.
enlighten me because I don't. I know even less.
So we left Brexit about I think 5 years ago now, something like that. So we're no longer part of the the European Union. So beforehand, we could get things imported and we could export quite readily. It wasn't that hard. But now we've left the EU, it's really hard getting anything in and out. And it's exceptionally hard for anything CITES. And Uroplatus fall under CITES. I think it's section 2 or something.
Right.
Um, so it's really hard. It's really expensive. I mean, if you're paying £500 or $500 for a gecko, you're probably paying similar in shipping and fees and taxes and everything else. So all of a sudden, this gecko that you think, oh, okay, that's not a bad price, but it's now doubled, and that's per animal. The shipping cost is obviously a one-off, but the fees, the tax, the CITES, it's all individual. So it's really expensive. I mean, I don't want to. I might. This is a big might, and it depends if they let me buy them or not. But Bion, I've been talking to Bion, and I might be getting a 2.2 of Peachmani next year.
Yeah.
They're going to be young.
Bion's nice because they will cover a lot of those expenses in that bulk
Yes.
shipment.
Yeah.
At least for here, they do boxes large enough where like I don't see the import cost reflected on my animal. It's mainly just like the shipping cost from their guy in San Diego that they import to,
Yeah.
or they export to, which for me is really really nice. But over there, you guys have that have a courier system, so I imagine it works a little bit differently as far as
It's a little bit different.
large exports.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, but not massively. So Bion, have you ever dealt with them personally?
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
good portion of my animals, a decent portion of my animals have come from them. A couple of my henkeli have come from them. A couple of Peachmani, as well. Some of my Peachmani came from a friend in San Jose, which is he was one of the few people that were breeding them, which is really cool.
Got
at
it.
least over here in the States. Yeah, so mainly just henkeli and Peachmani right now, are what I've gotten, and everything I've gotten has done really really well for me.
Good.
I imagine that I don't want to like make false rumors, but I would imagine that they do a little bit of sourcing as well. Like I feel like they, in addition to animals they've produced, I feel like they've sourced some stuff
Yeah.
as well. I don't really care, honestly, either way. But I feel like they've always been great to deal with, in my opinion. I feel very safe dealing with them. They make the process super easy.
Yeah, they're pretty good like that. I've only dealt with them once. I got a 2.2 of Sikore, and yeah, they're really easy. It's in the UK I had to pay for it quite a bit, but I mean it's the bloodline because I don't know what it's like in the States, but the bloodlines here are so limited. You get to a point, you get like 1 or 2 generations into your breeding, and you go shit. Okay, now I need to get Bion because there's no one else there's no one else I can swap with. So
Right. Here it's a little bit nicer. I mean, short of those species like henkeli where you can't really get fresh wild blood in anymore. Like I feel like a lot of the henkeli over here are, do go back to Bion.
yeah,
But then again, there are those guys you just out there that still have henkeli that track back from when you could still get wild animals. You just have to source those guys out, and it can be kind of difficult because they are of an older generation.
yeah.
So that's like the one thing with us is that like the stuff you can't get wild anymore, you kind of have to do some digging to find those animals. It's almost easier to start with Bion animals in some cases.
In some cases, yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know how often they ship in the States, but it's only like twice a year here, so it is very.
Yeah,
It's a bit hit
it's
and
quarterly.
miss.
It seems quarterly here.
Yeah. but they're good. They're good. All right,
Yeah.
next. What are we going to talk about next? Have you got anything exciting coming up?
Should we bring up some frogs? I forgot.
Frogs.
On the subject of animal updates.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been dabbling a little bit recently. More Malagasy species, so it is kind of pertinent. But I've been playing with some golden mantellas recently.
Hey, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So I started with a crap ton of tadpoles. My buddy Arm was gracious enough to give me a bunch of tadpoles to play with. He's kind of done with that species now, and
Got you.
sold off his group, but he had some remnants, so I got to play with those. And yeah, I've been raising up the tadpoles, and I've just got kind of started getting to the point where they're starting to morph out, which has been so wicked.
Yeah, I bet it's cool.
Um,
I bet it's cool.
Oh man, it's neat, dude. It's freaking neat. So the thing about them is that it seems like the tadpole. I've been communally raising all the tadpoles, and what's cool about them is I heard this from a guy who does like frog research. He thinks that they release like a growth hormone or like an anti-growth hormone, where like if you keep them communally, they'll almost stagger their growth,
Okay.
to limit like to control their like population almost. Because it seems like I got them all very similar sized, but at this point there's like a range of like legs and tails, and like it's like this huge range of sizes. Been feeding them all fairly well. But yeah, keeping them super simply in just like a little 5-gallon fish tank with a sponge filter, Java moss, and some leaf litter in there.
Nice.
Feeding them spirulina flakes and newt pellets and tadpole pellets, and they've been crushing it. And I've just started getting to the point where I've been morphing them out. With them, I didn't follow my buddy's directions to a T, and I actually ended up losing some morphlings because I kept the water too deep and I didn't give them a good enough like transition. Like you have to be very very careful about how you set up the morphing froglets, because if they have too hard a time getting out of the water, they can and will drown in like literally an inch of water.
Really?
So what I've been doing now, per his instructions, is just doing like a big pile of sphagnum moss and like a large deli,
Yep.
and then just doing like a centimeter of water maybe.
Oh,
And then,
okay.
that way they have like a really nice gradual transition. When they climb up onto the moss, it's still fairly wet, so they're not drying out the second that they get out of the water. And that's been working great now. So I've had a really good success rate, from that. But yeah, they're all at the stage now where like they're like I got about 5 that are like actively hopping around. Been pounding them with springtails. Or they're too small to even eat Melanogaster fruit flies. So
Wow.
been having to lock down springtail cultures for them. Which has been nerve-wracking, but
I can imagine.
It's been
Yeah.
smooth sailing so far.
Nice. I used to keep
But
mantellas.
they are like incredibly small.
Yeah, I
Which
used
species did you keep?
I used to keep the golden mantellas as well.
Goldens, yeah.
Yeah. So I think what did I have? I had like a 4.2 or something like that. And I never bred them. I got them. I thought they were really cool. I quickly found out I wasn't a frog guy. But they were cool. I didn't lose any or anything. I had them for probably 6-7 months or something. But yeah, I'm not a frog guy. I appreciate a good frog, but I can't. I don't know. I didn't vibe with it. So, but the golden mantellas,
Yeah,
they're
I
really
feel like-
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they're neat. I guess for breeding, they require a very particular setup for breeding. A lot more dependent on like small pools of water.
Yeah.
And, like how the hides are situated around those water pools. Like they need like these little depressions in the soil with like a lot of moisture, and they're very particular on their deposition sites, which is really interesting.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm starting to try and source like Malagasy like orchids.
Okay.
And I think I want to do like a biotope thing with like a bunch of Madagascan orchids and do some cool rock work and stuff. And yeah,
Nice. Nice.
starting to plan out the build for them. I seeing is believing, and now I believe I could raise a bunch of these tadpoles. So I gotta start building the tank for them, getting that growing out.
This time next year,
But,
you'll have about 1,000 mantellas.
Dude, well, so if all goes to plan, like, I mean, yeah, I I think I still got like 20 to 30 tadpoles that haven't morphed out yet.
Wow.
So there's a lot in the pipeline.
That's
I
crazy.
got to deal with.
That's crazy. Well, you've got a
But
few.
yeah, it's definitely. I think
Sorry, go on.
once these start, and I was gonna say like once these do start rolling, there are a couple other mantellid species I'm really interested in. Have you seen Levigata?
No.
Mantella levigata.
Mantella. Let's have a look. I'll pop
It's
it
just
up on
really
the
cool.
screen.
It's a black frog with like a yellow back.
Oh wow, yeah,
And
yeah.
they've got these neat like starry blue legs. But what's really cool about them is that they find them in like bamboo forests, and they find them like nesting in breeding in like the bamboo poles,
I have a feeling
like
of
in
where
like
this is
the
going.
and yeah. So I feel like yeah. So I want to say they're East Coast. So I think they're similar habitat to Lineatus actually.
Yeah.
So I think I want to do like a cool like bamboo, you know, setup. It would be super unique for a you know a small dart frog esque species to do bamboo with. It'd be really neat.
Be really cool. I don't know many people who keep Uroplatus with any kind of frogs. I mean, that would be.
I'm not. Oh, I wasn't gonna
amazing.
suggest I go have or anything like that, but
Oh, okay, okay.
I just for the sake of yeah no yeah I did it once. Now I'm just the dirty cohaver. No, but no, they would get their own dedicated tank and all that. But it would just be cool to keep that style of frog with large bamboo poles, something indicative of a Lineatus tank.
It would be awesome. It would be awesome. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you can get some really cool stuff in the States. In the UK, I don't think we get anything like this. It's a shame. Shame.
I don't think they don't get imported a whole lot either. But I think there are just like those people that have kept them running, thankfully.
Yeah. Yeah. No, nice. Well, you've got a few new additions. I've got a few as well. Apart from the Shinny babies.
Do tell.
I mean, we spoke about it before we hopped on, but I am in my bedroom, and that's where the podcast for me is taking place. And there is 2 rear fang venomous snakes in my bedroom, which I'm not exactly overly pleased with. But yeah, so hang on, I might be able to turn. So ignore the Pepsi can. But these are, well, it is a 1.1 of Boiga Tanajampia. So the Jampia cat snake, I think is the common name. So they're wild caught. There's not many in the country, but I believe it's a 1.1. I bought them as a 1.1, so I hope they're 1.1. I had them now for maybe 6 months. So I've not really posted it anywhere. But they seem to be doing alright, apart from the male's not doing okay. He just won't eat. So I put him into a larger tank, and since then he hates me and won't eat. So we're doing work with him, but it's been about 16 days since his last feed. So he's putting up a fight. But apart from that, so we got the cat snakes, and then I got a pair, so 1.1 of green tree monitors as well. So I've got a pair of sarong green trees. So
Beautiful.
yeah, they're doing well. They're really fun actually. The female is basically a dog. I mean, I could go get her now and put her on my shoulder and she wouldn't move. She's brilliant.
Yeah.
So hopefully next year get them cycling. I've never been able to breed any tree monitor I've ever had. So this is a bit of a personal mission now. So I thought I'd stick to the one pair and just give it a go. Yeah.
It's gotten personal.
Oh, it is. It is. So yeah, some cool new bits
tree
here.
monitors are one of those. Yeah, no, tree monitors are one of those that it's like, oh man, I think that is like one of those that's like 100% I'm going to get them. I just need the timing to be right and need the space to be right. It just isn't for me in the cards for me right now. But like that is like a dream species for sure. That's so cool that you're saying about the female. Are sarongs you think your favorite locality?
Of greens, nah. I think they used to be, but then the hype surrounding the Maruki.
Yeah,
it's warranted. They're pretty cool.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I got you.
I thought the female was Maruki when I saw her. I was like, oh my god, it might be it. No, it's wrong. So
yeah. Hey, still cool.
Yeah, it's still cool.
Locality monitors is really neat to me. It
Yeah.
seems like it's a newer thing. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't been super tapped into the monitor game at all. But it seems like nowadays people are targeting those localities a little bit harder than they have been.
Yeah, I think in the last couple of years, I think people have kind of cracked the code on how to breed tree monitors. I said the last couple of years. Obviously, you've got like your pioneers like Brandon Van Asten and all these like Canadian cold blood who's been doing it
Yeah.
for years and years and years. But now I think it's a little bit more common, not common knowledge, but everyone's kind of figured out how to breed them. So they've kind of gone, all right, we're not just green tree monitors anymore. Like, where are they coming from? And you've got people like in the UK, you probably know Chris Applin from Protassi.
Hmm.
Yeah, like he bred blacks and yellows in this country, and now he's working with Peter Falsham over in Indo, and he's working with everything. I mean, anything you could ever want, he's got it. Like, it's pretty cool. But
Yeah.
the locality, it's a cool game. I like how it's locality, not morphs. I'm not a morph guy. I don't like morphs.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like the localities because it is just all about like the natural beauty of the animal and
Yeah,
just maybe amplifying that is the one thing you could do with those. But at the end of the day, it is kind of just the the preservation of that locality,
yeah,
that certain phenotype, natural phenotype in captivity, which is really neat.
definitely. Speaking of morphs, going back onto Uroplatus, um, you posted recently. It was a wicked reel, and it was of a load of Ebanawi, and it was a kind of like rate the Ebanawi, and it was like a 1 to 5.
Oh yeah, it was like a yeah. So I just kind of picked out. I was like, you know what, I gotta get back into posting a little bit. I think I think the thing that seems to always take a species from a hobby level and make it like, I don't know, popular, if the right is it, catch fire,
Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
you will, is just like the animals that are very variable. So I just wanted to like showcase like the variety that you could get within Abanawi. Um, and yeah, so I posted up a couple different phenotypes of female Abanawi in that video. Um, I think everybody, I don't know. I posted the blotched one at very last, but I think everybody seemed to hang up on the charcoal. That one
Really?
seemed to catch the most fire. Yeah,
Wow.
everybody liked
Yeah, it's
the all
popular.
black one.
Here we go. Yeah, I mean the charcoal is pretty cool. People prefer charcoal in the UK, and that's kind of like number one.
Yeah, and I mean these are all just arbitrary terms. They're just what I call them because like it does seem like they are like separate phenotypes where like you either get one or the other. You don't like mix two and get like traits of both in the babies. It seems like they are somewhat structured
Yeah,
in the way that they present. Like you don't you'll get like a range within like a certain phenotype, but they do seem to be like grouped where you kind of pop one or the other, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think the
Um,
whole. I don't
and
think.
that
Sorry, go on.
no, no, you keep going.
I was just saying. I don't think the. I don't think there'll ever be like morphs with the Europlatus group. I think, like I said, it's just
No.
phenotypes, and that's just kind of how they are. I don't think you'll do like.
Hmm.
I don't think you'll do a charcoal and a blotched, let's say, and get like a crazy dark base
Yeah,
blotched or something. I don't think that's how it works.
I think you either get blotched or you get chark. Like I feel like yeah, it's either yeah, it's like a you have it's almost like a dial where
Yeah.
you have like steps in a dial that you it will click into
Mhm.
and you can't get like the perfect 50-50,
Yeah.
but like you
Yeah.
can still I don't know. I'm just speaking out of my butt now.
Yeah. I don't think you can play God quite as much with like the ball python and crested gecko kind of game. If you know what I mean. Like it's a little bit like
Yeah.
nature's way of
Yeah, you're not
saying.
working Mendelian. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not working Mendelian odds or anything like that. But yeah,
No.
I am kind of interested this year to play with some different, because you can also kind of tell which males fall into which group,
Yep.
um, just based on like the clutch mate and like kind of trends. Because the females are kind of where you see the most um, contrasting appearances. sometimes the males can kind of blend together, but there's certain traits that you can pick up in each male that kind of associate with a certain color form of female.
Mm-hmm.
So I might play around with um, some different phenotypes with different phenotypes and just see what happens. The most obvious ones are like the yellows versus like the reds in general, just
Yep.
because of how obvious yellows are compared to everything else. Like that's the most like aggressively unique, you know, form of Ebonalli, I would think is the yellows.
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
And then everything else is kind of blends together a little bit, but
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. But people.
because they just have like that fiery belly. I mean, that's like aside from them being yellow, they also just have like a bright firebelly toad-esque,
Yeah.
chest to them.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. I think people over here kind of prefer the darker base kind of stuff, but over there they seem to love the blotch, don't they?
It's one
Oh, I
guy
think I've lost you again.
that's been cracking. No, yeah, it's been one guy that's been cracking the code for blotches. He's been working on that project for a couple years. I definitely want to get him on the show and see if he wants to come on. But that's something he's been working at for like 3 or 4 years.
Nice.
But I think it
Nice.
all did start from just like a very low expression wild type animal or wild animal, um, which is really cool.
Mm, that is really cool.
But um, I I think that is one of the few examples of like somebody that's been like working towards like one specific goal in
Mm,
Ebonalli, and then that's the result, which is
nice.
pretty rad. But charcoal seems to be, I don't know, charcoal, the black one seems to be fairly unique as far as stuff in the States. You don't see a whole lot of ones that get that black. That was kind of a random unique hatch. Unfortunately, I accidentally sold the parents a while ago,
No.
and then that thing hatched out
Oh
long ago, and
man.
then yeah, so the parents are out there. So
Get at them.
just because they weren't the most in my opinion pretty parents. So I was like, all right, I gotta cut some fat here,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and hone in a little bit, and then that hatched. And I'm like, well, what are you gonna do?
Shit.
At least I
Hindsight's
got one.
2020. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
But so is there anything else we want to touch on this episode? I'm just looking through the notes now, and I think we've kind of touched
Well,
on a lot.
yeah, we hit everything I think we wanted to hit on. Next week, I think the follow up to next week will be really good because next week I'm headed to Costa Rica for a week long herping only trip with some good friends. So I'm very excited for that. It'll be cool to recap that.
Nice, nice. Do you want
Really
to
looking forward to
do you want to
that.
give any spoilers?
Unfortunately, I
Who you're
don't keep
going with?
anything from. So Mike Taitula is the one that invited me. So it's a group of uh, Canadian herpetoculturists, which is very cool.
Very nice.
I've met a couple of them before at various shows, so I'm really excited to go with that group. And yeah, unfortunately, I don't keep anything from Costa Rica, but I feel like if I come back, that a changed man that might change. You might catch me with some red eyes or something, something random like that after, and you know, but it'll be really cool because I feel like there's a lot in Costa Rica that I don't know even exists. Like I'm not super familiar with the um the variety of species they have down there. It's not a reason I'm super familiar with, so it'll be a very new experience.
Mm.
It'll be very novel, which I'm super excited for. I think if I had to list off a couple of dream finds, I really want to find a Spilotes.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be cool.
One of the tiger rats. Those things are wicked. That's one that I might come back and be like, you know what, maybe I do need to pick up a little captive bred animal and raise one of those, because those things are just those are impressive animals. So as far, yeah, that's probably up there. I mean, a Bushmaster has to be like
It has to be up
tip
there,
top,
right?
but I feel
Yeah.
like that's everybody. I feel like that's everybody though. I feel like yeah, that'll be the dream find as a Bushmaster. But then you like got your classics, the eyelash vipers, the Corrales,
Mm.
the tree boas, red-eyed tree frogs. You got you got your blue jean, Ufaga species, and trying to think of what else. Jumping viper. I really want to see a jumping viper
Jumping. I don't know what
because
that
they
is.
look like little mini. Oh, they're so neat.
Jumping viper. So carry on. I'll pull up on screen. Oh wow, these things are crazy.
They almost look like a cross between like a bushmaster and a cottonmouth.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. There we go.
They have a very big, blocky head, short, stout body.
Wow.
Very comical looking pit viper, but they're so impressive looking.
That's the last thing you want to stand on, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I think thankfully we're gonna be trudging around in rain boots and stuff for the whole trip, so
Yeah,
I just have
nice.
to be careful where I step.
Defo.
Get my travel insurance in check.
Nice. That'll be
Cover any accidental envenomations down there.
that'll be an amazing trip. We'll have to the episode when you come back and explain it. It'll be awesome. It's definitely one to listen out for.
Yeah, I'll try and take. I am gonna try and bring like a notebook.
Mm-hmm.
That way I can like record every species we find at what time on what day.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try my best to be very good at note taking.
Nice.
And take a lot of pictures and stuff, but I think the notes will be crucial because I feel like I get back from trips sometimes and it's like, gosh, what did we see and when was this? And I'm all over the place. And if I have like a timed out list of notes of like when stuff happened, I think that'll be crucial.
Nice. So you've got someone looking after your collection once you're away.
Yeah, I got a good friend that'll come over and spray stuff. I think everything will be okay if they just get sprayed. Maybe Ebanawi will have to get fed, but other than the Ebanawi, I think everybody should be okay with just spraying, I think, for the week.
Oh, so it's not too bad, is it?
Yeah, no, I think it's 9 days, so it's like Saturday to Sunday. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to put my friend under the duress of feeding baby chondros, but maybe I will. Because I do want to. I am trying to pound those things with food right now. I need to get those things big. As soon as they're at the fuzzy eating size, I feel like they'll kind of, I'll stress about them a little bit less.
Yeah.
But as long as they're eating pinkies, you just hear stories. So I'm like, you know what? We just gotta get them to the fuzzy size. Get them eating something with some mass, and then after that they'll be smooth sailing.
Is it the five GTB chondros you've got?
Yeah. So
nice.
So me and a buddy. I don't know if I've told this to you before, but me and a buddy, we co-own a pair of sarong green tree pythons,
Nice.
and we had some really good luck this year and got a nice healthy clutch of I think 16 hatched out, and so we each got 14 hatched out.
Mm-hmm.
So we each got 7 babies. He's lost 1, and then I've lost 2 at this point. And the 2 that I lost, I want to say they just didn't get started fast enough. And I think the trick that I discovered recently is that like everything is like so much more willing to eat at night, but like in complete darkness. It can't just be like the time of day. It has to be like physically like complete darkness. Their pupils need to be dilated to the max for them to really be in that feeding mode, it seems. So that's a little trick I picked up on recently, and that solved the problem with one of my animals always being like a little bit annoying. Like I'd have to like sit there and like smack him with a mouse for, I kid you not, like 20 to 30 minutes. Like reheat the water like 5 times just to get that pinky hot again.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. And tried feeding him on the per the tip of a guy I met on Instagram.
Yep.
He recommended just complete darkness. Go in there with a little phone light and see what happens. And sure enough, that thing took faster than I've ever seen. And
wow,
the fastest I've ever fed all of my green trees. I think I was done in like 10 minutes. It was incredible.
That's amazing. Awesome. Well,
pure jubilation.
I think I might try the not a lot of light for the male tonight, the Boiga. I think go in a small headlamp.
Have you? Okay, so what? Yeah, back on the Boiga. What have you tried so far?
I've tried various sizes of mice. Tried pinkies. Tried quail. I've tried chick.
Okay.
He's not taking any of it. He used to eat mice. He used to eat quail, and now he doesn't want any of it. So I think it's got to be environmental.
It doesn't.
You know, I think it's got to be the
bet
tank.
it's environmental. I don't think it's the food.
No.
It doesn't sound like it's the food. If he's not even like, I don't know if there is a food that would get him. It doesn't even sound like, yeah, if he's taken all that stuff before, it sounds like he's just not in the mood to eat for whatever reason, whether that be an environmental change like you mentioned. But you could, yeah, maybe we do try the night, the just pitch black.
I think so. I mean, I've been speaking.
Have you tried anything like that?
Not yet. No. It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned it about your GTPs because I have been speaking to a guy in Europe, named Chris, who keeps, I think, like 6 or 9 species of boiga. And that's the first thing he said. He said, go in with a phone torch or a headlamp and feed him at night. He said, you'll probably succeed. So that's tonight's adventure. And he said, if you're going to try and assist feed, he said also assist feed at night. So I don't really fancy that just yet. Just trying to assist feed some pissed off snake in pitch black.
Trying to wrangle your boiga. Yeah,
I was like, okay, we'll just try feed at night first. I mean,
yeah.
So
I hear you. Yeah, you know what? I'd be willing to bet that, like, yeah, I'm really rooting for you, but I think you will find success in that pitch black idea. I think it's as soon as, like, I think they do need that. They just do need to be in that fully awake, fully locked in mode sometimes to to be in that food mode response. At least that's just what I've seen with the condors and all that. Thus far. And I mean, it goes for a lot of other snakes too. Like even my rhinos are a little bit weird in the day, but at night they're always absolute animals.
Yeah. Well,
especially those
give
nocturnal species. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for you. I bet you'll have success. I'll come back from Costa Rica and you'll be like, guess what? It's got 5 meals in it now.
Guess what? I was bit 16 times, and I still can't feel my left hand.
My thumbs look like grapes.
Yeah.
But fingers are all swollen, and yeah.
But in terms of next episodes, so you're going to be coming back from Costa Rica. I've got a guest lined up.
Got the Costa Rica recap.
Brilliant. I've got a English guest. He was the first person I actually bought a Uroplatus gecko off. So my first gecko was a Fantasticus, and he sold me it. So this guy, he hasn't got social media. He doesn't really care for it, but he's been doing it now for I think 20 odd years. He's a good friend of mine, and he is a bit of a legend in the UK for Uroplatus. So hopefully next episode is going to be a bit of a banger, and hopefully I'll try and ease some like tips and tricks and whatever else out of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I got a guest lined up as well. He's the younger guy about our age. But he's the guy that I reached out to first when I first got my Sikore for advice on breeding and care and all that. So I have a lot of respect and appreciation for this guy, and he produces some absolutely wicked Sikore and Fantasticus.
Nice.
And hopefully Peachmani this year. So it'll be a cool talk. I think it'll be a lot of good discussion back and forth. Canadian dude, and if that clues you in on who it could be, then good for you. But you'll see it soon enough. I think we're recording this week, hopefully, or this coming week.
Amazing.
And yeah, hopefully we'll stagger that after yours, and then we'll hit Costa Rica recap, and yeah, we'll smooth sailing from there.
Brilliant. Anything else you want to touch up before we kind of wrap this all up?
I think that's it. I think looking forward to getting out doing some herping. It's the herping weather out here, at least in California, is definitely tailed off here in November.
Yeah,
it's gotten a little chilly, and all the time changes is throwing me off. So I think it's throwing off all the reptiles too.
Yeah,
with all this crap weather we've been having. So I think it'll be a little bit stagnant for a month or two before salamander season picks up, and then it'll be fun again. But until then, it'll be nice to get this week of good herping in. Before the dark days.
Amazing. Well, do you want to see us out, Jack, with the outro, if there's an outro?
Yeah. on the spot. All right, let's do this. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. You can find me at Gekota Culture. You can find George at Dragon Pit Reptiles on Instagram. This has been the Leaftail Lounge, episode 2. Good chat with you, George.
And you, mate.
Hope all goes well with the Boiga, man.
Cheers, buddy. And if I don't speak to you, have a wicked trip.
Yep. Oh yeah, I'll be shooting you pictures all throughout.
Yeah, cool.
We'll be in touch.
Nice one, man. All right, then. Cheers for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.
Later.